Hurricane Sandy. Hurricane Sandy struck on October 29, 2012, hitting New York City, Long Island, coastal New Jersey, and parts of New England very hard. The storm was so big, about 60 million Americans felt its power. The eye of the storm formed over Atlantic City. It was the first place to be hit. Philadelphia, New York, and more cities soon followed. Whole cities were suddenly underwater. The streets were flooded. Some coastal roads were destroyed. There were power lines on the ground, and there was no way to travel safely. The pounding waves damaged boats and buildings, and the currents carried away cars. Hurricane Sandy was one of the worst storms ever to hit these cities, and the second costliest hurricane in U.S. history. To understand the size of the storm, let's look at it from above. The superstorm stretched to 1/3 of the size of America from Florida to Canada, 1,000 miles long. The eye of the storm moved from the southwest Atlantic northward into the northeast U.S. past New Jersey, New York, and Rhode Island. On the Jersey shore, damage started early. The superstorm created a storm surge, which ripped parts of houses and boardwalk and littered the streets for days to come. Residents of the local communities ran into their basements for cover, and soon after, the high tides started coming one after the other. Seawater surged over shores, seawalls, and highways into smaller streets. The water flooded tunnels, subway stations, and the electrical system that powers whole cities. The storm left millions of people without electricity, and many waited in their flooded houses for hours for the rescue teams. Hurricane Sandy affected 24 states with a total of $65 billion in damages.